Hello yogis, and welcome to Beyond Body with Abigail. Today is going to be a quick flow and I am outside at the waterfront in Cape Town. I would like to invite you to grab your mat, grab your pillow if you need to, get into something comfy, and let's get going. Alright, so let's start in a downward facing dog. Pressing your toes and your heels into the ground, spreading your fingers, and pressing the heels of your hands and your feet into the ground. Now shift your weight forward into a high plank. Maybe replace your feet, bring your hands under your shoulders, and press your hands into the floor, opening the shoulder blades. Now soften your belly all the way down to the floor, release. Walk your hips side to side just to relax into the mat. Now press your hands into the floor. Come into Cobra. Pressing the heels of your hands, elbows in towards the side of your body. Now push back into a child's pose. Bring your knees as wide as the mat together and relax your forehead onto the mat. Coming back into a downward facing dog, tucking the toes under, walking your hands back into a down dog. Pressing the heels of your hands and the heels of your feet into the ground. Lift your right leg up, look forward, step the foot in between your hands, coming into a high lunge with your tips of your fingers on the floor. Drop your back knee, come into crescent lunge with your hands lifting up to the sky. Drop your hands back onto the floor, find your plank. Knees, chest and chin down onto the mat. Inhale, Cobra. Push back, down dog. We'll do the same on the other side. Lift your left leg up towards the sky. Press your hands into the floor. Bend your knees and step the foot in between the hands. Find your high lunge with your fingertips into the floor. Knees stacked on top of your ankles. Now drop the back knee. Anjaneyasana, lift the hands up towards the sky. Drop your hands back to the floor. Find your high plank. Knees, chest and chin into the mat. Inhale, Cobra. Push back, downward facing dog. Now bend your knees, hover your knees off the floor, press the heels of your hands into the floor. Feel that stretch along the upper back all the way down to the lower spine, and press forward into a plank. Push back. Inhale, exhale back to a plank. Inhale, push back. Exhale, plank. Inhale, push back. Look forward and hop your hands toward your feet towards your hands. Relax your chin down towards your chest. Now grab a hold of your hands from the back of your back. Grab your wrists and let your hands hang towards the top of your head. Feel that stretch along the armpits all the way towards the back. Now release your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Feel the weight between your toes and your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step back, plank. Push back, down dog. We'll do that again. Bend your knees, look forward. Shift your weight forward, find your high plank. Shift your weight back. It's like a child's pose with your knees off the floor. Inhale, plank. Exhale, child's pose with your knees off the floor. Let's do two more. Inhale, plank. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now this time look forward. Inhale. Exhale, hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, open your heels, open your toes, grab a hold of your elbows. And feel the weight of your torso pulling your body down to the earth. Now place your hands onto the floor. Begin by walking out your knees, one knee and then the other knee. So you feel that stretch along the side body here, all the way to the lower spine. Now soften your knees, bring your feet together. We're going to go into chair's pose. So bend your knees like you're wanting to sit down on a chair. Bring your hands together and point your fingertips up towards the sky. Looking forward, weight into the heels, feeling the burn into the thighs. Look up, soften the space between your eyebrows. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, step back into a plank. Chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin down towards the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Push back into your down dog. Bend your knees, hover them off the floor, look forward, press your hands into the mat. Lift your butt as high as you can. Now jump forward for your feet to meet your fingertips. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, relax. Open the heels again. This time, open your heels as wide as the mat. Open your toes off the mat. And squatting down into Malasana squat. Bringing your elbows on the inside of your knees and fingertips come together. Keep your gaze soft. Now press your hands into the floor. Inhale, lift your buttocks high. Zigzag your feet back towards the center of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, push back, down dog. Right knee bends, come onto the tip of your left toes, shift your weight forward, bring your knee towards your nose. Now take your knee down towards the right wrist and up. Take your knee towards the left elbow and down towards the left wrist and up. Bring your knee across to the right elbow, knee down towards the right wrist and up. Now flex your foot, step it in between the gap. Drop that back knee, coming all the way up into Anjaneyasana. Really sink that right hip forward, lifting the nice and high. Now bring your hands together, two peace fingers pointing up, thumbs cross, lift the shoulders, roll your shoulders back and down and add a little back bend. Place the hands back onto the ground, tuck the back toes under, plank, chaturanga, knees, chest or chin, upward facing dog, push back, down dog. Left knee bends, lift your right heel high and shift your weight forward. Now bring your left knee towards your left elbow. Take it down towards the left wrist. Bring it up. Now take it across to the right elbow and take it down and up. Take it across to the left. Take it down. Take it up. Once more over to the right. Bring the knee down and bring it up. Now flex your foot, step that foot in between the hands and drop your back knee. Coming into Anjaneyasana. Placing the palms together, peace fingers pointing up to the sky. Squeeze the glutes, bringing that right hip forward. Lift your shoulders high, roll them back and down. Now add a little back bend. Feeling the front body lengthening. Palms down, tuck the back foot under. Plank, chaturanga, hold it here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck the toes, upward facing dog. Push back into your down dog. Bend your knees, keep your knees hovering off the floor, look forward. We're going to jump into a Malasana squat. Feet next to your hands, then we're going to jump back. We'll do 2 more. Bend your knees, look forward, jump forward, and jump back. Once more, bend your knees, look forward, jump forward. Now from here, bring your hands together, just like we did in Anjaneyasana. Fingertips pointing forward. Now lift your butt up, firing into the legs. Now we're going to pan our hands towards the left. Keep that right knee opening And towards the right, keep the left knee opening. Towards the left and towards the right. Place your hands back onto the ground, jump back, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Very good. Take a couple of breaths here to recover. If you feel like meeting in a child's pose, go ahead. 3 more breaths here. Bring your feet together as you finish your last cycle of breath. Lift your right leg up and we're going to step it forward and we'll meet in a warrior 2. So remember, your back heel is perpendicular to the side of the back of the mat. Your front knee is stacked on top of that front ankle. You squeeze in your right hip under, lift that right arm up, warrior 2. Now check in that your heels are pressing into the ground. You're bending the front knee, your front hip is forward, your back hip is open. Arms out, warrior 2. Shoulders press down. Pull up the back thigh, fingertips pointing forward and fingertips pointing back. Now from here, you're going to stretch your front leg and lift your right hand up. Stick your left hip back and find your Trikonasana. Fingertips point up to the sky. Again, pull the right hip under, left hip opens. Right ribs forward, left ribs open. Hold for 2 breaths. 1 more breath. Now we'll do a little windmill action with the arms. You'll bend your right knee. You'll windmill your right arm up. Left arm up. We're going to place the hands into the mat. Bend the back leg. Flex the front foot. Just like before, your back leg is hovering, the front heel is flexed. Now take that leg back into a plank, single-legged plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog with both feet on the floor, push back, down dog. Breathe in this pose. 2 more breaths here. And we'll go on to the other side. Bend your left leg, heel towards your butt. Now look forward, step that right foot forward. We'll meet in warrior 2 on the other side. So right heel down, stack your knee on top of your ankle, and open up into warrior 2. Same applies, hips, knees, and the back of your foot pulling away from the front of the foot. Eyes are pulled up, right hip is open, left hip is forward, while keeping your knee on top of the ankle. Now straighten the front leg, stick your hips out, meet in Trikonasana. Look down to find your balance, look up to challenge your balance. Ribs are in, left thigh is forward, right thigh is open. Hold for 2 more breaths. One more breath here and we'll do the windmill action with the arms. So the left arm, left knee bends, left arm comes up, right arm scoops all the way up. Hands down to the floor. Now place your hands into the mat, flex your front foot, bend your back knee. Looking forward. Now let that left leg go back. We're going to go into single plank. Weight into your fingertips. Drop down all the way chaturanga. Drop your feet all the way to the floor, upward facing dog. Push back, down dog. Excellent work. Find 5 breaths here, pressing the heels into the floor. This is an opportunity for you to meet in a child's pose position with your forehead on the mat. Releasing the hands, releasing any tension you're holding in the lower spine, in the center of your eyebrows. And we'll add on to that variation. Today I'm at the waterfront, clock towers. So there's quite a bit of construction happening in the background, but I want you to tune in and tune in with these noises. sounds. Breathing in and out through the nose. And we will meet in a down dog again. So place your hands back onto the ground. Bring your knees together. Tuck your back toes under and lifting the knees off the mat. So we'll start the down dog with a tabletop position, knees hovering off the floor, hands under the shoulders. Ribs are in, press the palms into the floor, hold for 2 breaths here. And I want you to press your hands into the floor, send your hips up, press your heels into the ground, down dog. Very good. Make sure the heels are connected to the ground, toes are spread wide. Bend the right knee and bring the knee towards the front. Flex the foot, step it forward. Let's meet in Warrior 2. Again, shoulders press down, right hip opens, left hip opens. Stretch the front leg, meet in Trikonasana, lift the back arm up. We're going to reverse Trikonasana this time, keeping that front leg straight, reach back. And bend the front knee, extended side angle. Fingertips down to the floor, knee stacked on top of the ankle. Now bring your hands down, find your high lunge and walk that right foot out towards the side. Now you're in a slightly wide angle here. I want you to shift your weight forward and shift your weight back. Shift your weight forward and back. Now we're going to go into side angle pose. So flip your left heel towards the side. So you take your heel and you flip it to the side. Now step your left hand to the center and step your right foot to meet the left. So we come into a side angle pose. If this is too much, you can bend your left knee to support your side body. Otherwise, keep your feet stacked in front of each other. Hold here for 2 breaths. Wherever you're at, you can go into a variation. Shaking is good. Hold it there for 2. And 1. Right hand down, find your plank. Chaturanga. Belly down, inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the knees off the floor, exhale, push back. Down dog. Good job. Left the right heel to the butt. Bend the knee, shift your weight forward and step the foot in the gap. Now we'll meet in a Warrior 2 with your left leg forward, right back. Stretch the front leg, Trikonasana, fingertips to the ground or to your shin or onto a block. Look down for balance, look up for a challenge. Right ribs open, left ribs forward, squeezing the glutes for 2 breaths. 1 more breath and we'll reverse Trikonasana. Keep the front leg straight, reverse your Trikonasana, stretch that side body. Bend your front knee, extended side angle pose. Again, welcome to use blocks or bring your fingertips to the mat. 2 breaths. So this class is slightly a slower flow, excuse me. Very good. Bring your hands back to the ground. Walk your left foot out, so you're in a slightly wider angle. Shift your weight forward and back. Shift your weight forward and back. Now take your right hand to underneath your nose. Slide your left foot slightly back towards your hip and flip that right heel to the side. Now stack your feet first, feel comfortable, and then lift that hand towards the ceiling. I'm going to show you an option which is easier. Step the left foot forward, bend the right knee and bring it as support towards the mat. This is when you tone it down. If you want to tone this up, step your feet one in front of the other. Shoulder stacked on top of the wrist, fingers pointing up to the sky. Hold for 2 breaths. Ribs are in, core is engaged. 1 more breath. And we'll meet in plank. Belly down on the floor through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Push back, down dog.
We're going to meet in child's pose to take a minute to reset, to relax, to tune in with the breath, connecting with the mind. We speed up our breath, we speed up our movements, hence we quiet our mind. We breathe deeper when we quiet our mind. The next section is a short little stretch. And we'll meet in a down dog first. So tuck your toes under, find your down dog. And we'll just step our right leg forward and our left leg forward. So we're coming into a seated position, extending your legs away from the body, flexing the feet, and moving the fleshy bits further away. So sitting nice and tall with your shoulders, your ribs, and your hips stacked. So careful that you're not leaning back. If you are leaning back, open your feet slightly so that you can really bring your hips on top of your ribs on top of your hip bones and your shoulders on top of your ribs. Now bring your hands onto your upper thighs or your shins or your toes. Lift your chest forward, stick your tailbone back. Now if you are hooking onto your toes, use your peace fingers to pull your heart forward before you pull your heart down. Hold here for 5 breaths. Keep kicking the heel away from the body, toes up to the ceiling or the sky. 2 more breaths. And now you've reached your limit in terms of folding in half. Now you can release your top spine or the top part of your spine, which will be your forehead down towards the mat or the shin. Now if you're quite flexible in your hamstrings, you can bring your forehead down towards your shins. Hold here for 4 breaths. 3 more breaths. One more cycle. And release. Roll your body all the way back up. Take your left leg, step your left leg over. And now bend your right leg. You're going to lift the right arm up, twist into a closed twist. So lift the spine and then twist. Hold here, stay here, press the elbow into the floor. If you'd like to go into a bind, take your right hand and hook it in the gap. Take your left hand around and find the fingertips from the back. So I'm going to turn forward to show you what that looks like. My hand is going in the gap and my other hand is grabbing my left hand. I'm pulling my body away and I'm pushing my elbow into my knee. Hold here for 2 cycles of breaths. Very good. Release. A open twist and step the feet out again. Now take your, which one was it? Take your right leg over, bend your left leg, lift your left arm up. So your right leg is up, your left leg is down, and your left arm is up. Twist, twisting your left elbow into the knee. Now I'm going to show you from this angle first. I'm taking my left hand, I'm putting it inside the gap, and I'm taking my right hand around. So now you can really see what this twist looks like from the back. Yes, you're pulling your right shoulder open and you're pushing your left elbow into the knee. Hold for 2 cycles of breaths. Keep pressing that left knee down, both glutes connected to the earth. 1 more cycle. And release, bringing your feet down onto the mat. Give them a little shake. We forgot our open twist, so just give yourself a little open twist and come back. So give yourself a little shake with the legs. And we'll come into butterfly position. So I'm turning to face the camera. Bring your feet together, sitting tall, holding onto your toes, and just start to flap your knees up and down. Bringing the chest forward and up. The top of your head is pointing to the top of the ceiling or the sky. Shoulders are rolled back, ribs are in, and just let the knees flop up and down. Our next stretch, if you want, I would like you to face me. Whatever orientation you're in, I want you to face me. So turn your body and face me for this next stretch. We're going to go into straddle stretch. Okay, so open your legs nice and wide to the edges of your mat, flex your feet, and just begin by walking your hands forward. So wherever you're at, I want you to flex your feet, to press the back of your legs into the ground, pull up your thighs, kneecaps are lifted. And wherever you're at today, whether your elbows are on the mat, whether your belly button is on the mat, I really want you to remember that in your legs. Hold here for 5 breaths. Two more breaths here. Very good. Walk your hands back towards your body. And bring your knees up. And windshield wipe your knees side to side. Just releasing the hips a little bit, relaxing. And I'd like you to lie down in Shavasana. Okay, I'm not going to lie down in Shavasana. I'm going to guide you through your Shavasana. So lying down on your back, palms up to the sky, and your feet are as wide and a little bit wider than your mat. Now, start by moving your shoulders, opening your chest, and broadening your collarbones, bringing your shoulder blades flat onto the mat. Tuck your chin ever so slightly so you feel that lengthening behind the neck. And let your feet flop open, palms flop open. Part your lips ever so slightly. And just tune in with the breath here. Can you feel how your breath enters and exits your nose? Can you feel your breath pass your lips? Can you notice how your belly rises and falls? What's the furthest thing you can hear? What's the closest sensation you can touch? What's the furthest thing you can feel? Can you tune in with a taste in your mouth? If you're outdoors like I am, do you feel that breeze blowing across your body, over your skin? Can you feel that little breeze blowing over your face? And as we come to the end of our class together today, I'm going to leave you in Shavasana, a resting position, a meditative position. You can stay here as much and as long as you wish. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Whether you did this class in the morning, in the middle of your day, or at the end of your day, I hope that it has set an intention and it has given you energy. Thank you so much for joining me in this class today. I'll see you next time. Namaste.